Hello and welcome to Launch With Me. I cannot tell you how excited that I am that you're here. I am so excited to be doing this series. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Taylor Eaton. I am a money mindset expert, a coach, a human design expert, an Oracle deck creator. I have a lot of titles that I go by. Ultimately, I am an entrepreneur. I have built a wildly successful multiple six-figure business over the last 5 years from the ground up, from scratch. I now work with entrepreneurs to do business in a way that feels good to them and in a way that works for them, that plays to their unique strengths. All right, a couple housekeeping things before we dive into what we are starting with today, which is going to be so game-changing for you in your entire business. So stick with me for just a minute while I go through some of this housekeeping stuff, and then we're diving into something so juicy for you. This Launch With Me series is basically me documenting an entire launch in my business from start to finish, like from offer creation to structuring to pricing to launch strategy to marketing to content creation and beyond. This really is going to be kind of an unpolished series. I will do my best to edit things and keep these videos short, but we are probably going to have upwards of 12 videos in this series. I want to give you a true, honest representation of what it looks like to launch something brand new in a multiple six-figure business. These videos will be honest. They will be largely unscripted. I have some notes down here that I will refer to just so I make sure we hit certain points in each video, but I'm gonna be documenting my launch as I go. I'm gonna be documenting these things as I do them for you. Now, this series is geared more towards online service-based entrepreneurs, so coaches, virtual assistants, branding agencies, marketing agencies, things like that. If that's not you, that is okay. You are absolutely still welcome to watch this series. Just know that some things may not be directly applicable to your industry, to your niche. As always, regardless of who you are and where you are in business and what business you're in, I want you to take what works for you from this series and leave everything that doesn't. That's always my philosophy with everything in life, but especially in business, is that what works for me may or may not work for you. One other thing I want to say before we dive in, I say this with love. I know that most people, because this is a free thing, most people will watch the first few videos and then kind of be like, I'll come back to it eventually, and then they don't. It's not because there's not value in the videos. It is not because they don't like it. It is because you do not have any motivation to push past your limit, right? To push past your zone of comfort. I encourage you to not be one of those people. I encourage you to be the exception. I encourage you to be exceptional. I encourage you to commit to not just to this series, but to your business, to evolving, to being the next level version of you, the best version of you, to growing your business and as an individual. I may or may not be the right teacher for you, but if you like my approach to launching, if what I'm saying so far feels aligned to you, or after you watch this video and you're like, yes, I want more of this, I want you to commit to actually showing up for these videos. To do that, really easy, just sign up for free at the link below for these videos if you haven't already, because then you're gonna get an email every time a video goes up, so that it helps you stay accountable. When you register, I get to send you a link to a Google Doc that I will be updating throughout this series with just the basic steps of what I'm covering each video to give you that written roadmap of how I launch in my business so you can adapt that for your own business if you want to. Now, I'll also say there is an upgrade option. If you want to not just get the video series here that you're gonna get for free, but you want to work with me, you want to get to ask me questions and get personalized coaching about your launch or about anything in business in general, come join the VIP upgrade experience. It gives you access to an exclusive Telegram channel with me where I am going to be putting extra content in there that I can't really fit into these videos, creating extra resources for you, answering your questions, giving you personalized coaching. It's going to be so incredibly powerful. It is a steal of a deal. Check out what's available in the link in the description below. And at the very least, just register for free for this program. It's free. You're gonna get such value from doing that alone. I'm very excited for what I have planned in this series. I'm very excited to share all of this with you. It is going to be so insanely powerful and transformational for those of you who actually stick with it. Those of you who do, I cannot wait to walk this path with you. Okay, so let's dive into what I want to talk about today, and it is laying the foundation for a successful launch. Now, there is going to be a lot of stuff we talk about strategy-wise in this series. There's going to be a lot of strategy of how you craft an offer, of how you price an offer, of how you position it, of how you market it, of how you talk about it, of how you sell it, all that sort of stuff. So we're going to be talking a lot of strategy throughout this. But today, I want to give you my 2 principles of launching and business in general. But these are really the 2 guiding principles for me that I have found no one ever taught me in business. Most people miss in their launches, and it took me years to figure out. When I finally figured these things out, my launches became so much more fun, so much easier, and so much more successful. So here are the 2 principles. These are the 2 things I want to give you, and I will give you some tips for using them so that you can actually work with these today, so that you've laid a really powerful foundation for your launch. And these things are not strategic. They are more energetic, they're more mindset, they're more spiritual, whatever you want to call it. These things are the inner work of what it takes to have a successful launch. We will talk more about these things later on in the series, I'm sure, and I know we are going to be going so deep into them in that VIP experience. But here is what I want to offer you today. These are so key. The first principle of launching is embodiment. What I mean by embodiment is that every day before I work on my launch, before I create my offer, before I make any decisions around pricing, before I write any marketing content, anything like that, I sit down and I make sure I am embodying my next level self. The version of me who already has run this launch and had it be a wild success. The version of me who is so confident that this is going to be the best launch ever. That people are going to love this, that it has value, right? Even before I know exactly what I'm launching, I sit down and I make sure that I am embodied, I am in that next level version of me. And this is so important because when you do this in all areas of your business, but especially with the launch, the decisions you make, the strategies you implement, and the way you do it changes. Because most people launch from a place of, how do I make this work? How do I get signups? How do I hit my goals? How do I get the number of enrollments or the amount of money coming in that I want? How do I do it? They are coming at it, when they ask those questions, from a place of lack, of not knowing, of not uncertainty, of this might not work. And the truth is, your launch might not work. I've had a number of failed launches, but what I found is that you have to be so confident in your offer and in your launch and in yourself in order to actually nail a launch, in order to actually execute it. You are so much more likely to hit your goals with your launch if you can embody your next level self every step of the way than if you don't. This is one of the biggest things I see people miss in business, and especially with launching and selling, is they are coming from a place of lack, a place of uncertainty, a place of doubt, rather than a place of confidence, a place of excitement, a place of pure joy, a place of value, a place of empowered certainty. So that's what I want you to tap into. So this is the first principle, is embodiment, right? Embodiment in your launches. Spend a little bit of time with that next level version of you, with that version of you who already has everything she wants out of this launch. Now, my second principle in launching in business is intuition. I use my intuition, you could call it your inner guidance, your human design authority, your gut feeling, whatever it is that you want to call it. I call it my intuition. I use that to make pretty much every decision in my business. Every decision is made from intuition. This is so important to keep in mind because launching should feel good. It is something that if you are an online service-based provider, you will be doing pretty frequently. Even as someone, for me, who most of my income now comes from passive self-paced programs, from evergreen sales, from funnels that I've set up, I still show up and talk about these things from time to time. I'm still launching and selling in a way. This act of launching should feel good to you. It should be fun. It should be exciting. It might stretch you out of your comfort zone at times. It might feel a little uncomfortable as you grow into your next level, but it shouldn't feel like a drag. Part of the key to making your launch feel good is allowing yourself to use your intuition, your inner guidance, your gut, whatever it is, your human design authority, to make decisions along the way. Let that be the guiding light. Most of the time we're taught to follow a roadmap that someone else laid out, a strategy. We're taught that there's one right way to sell or make money or launch in your business. We're taught that you have to use logic for every decision. And that, again, is where so many people go wrong in their launches. You have to be willing to admit that we are all different. There are a million different ways to get where you want to go. And it's just about finding the way that feels the best to you, works the best for you, and leverages your unique skills and strengths the best. While you might see me making decisions in my Launch With Me series here about pricing or strategy or marketing that you look at and you go, that doesn't make any sense to me, or that doesn't make logical sense, or I would do it completely different. Honor that. Honor what feels right to you, but know that I'm choosing from my intuition. Because I found that when I listen to my intuition, I'm listening to the best parts of me. I'm listening to what feels right for me, what feels sustainable for me, what feels exciting for me, so that I can keep showing up and keep having motivation to keep going with my launches and to keep learning and growing and pivoting and evolving. So it is so important for you to be willing to drop the logic a little bit. You can still use logic to create your options for yourself, or to find options, or to look at things and go, this doesn't seem like it's working. Let's think of something else. But at the end of the day, all the decisions should be made from that inner place, from that intuition, from that thing that just inexplicably feels right to you, or feels exciting to you, or makes sense to you. I want you to make space today to just get clear on, what does my inner guidance sound like? So that you can continue to tap into that for every decision you make along the way. So this is kind of that winning combination, is when you can be in that embodied next level state before you make any decisions on anything in your launch, or show up for your launch, or create anything for your launch. If you can embody your next level self, and then you, from that place, use your intuition, your inner guidance to make every decision along the way, it becomes magical. Launching becomes so fun, and it becomes an opportunity. This is what I love about launching now when I approach it this way. It becomes an opportunity to fall deeper in love with yourself, your business, your offer, and your audience and clients. Launching is truly an act of love, if you allow it to be. It is something that gives you energy rather than depletes you. It is something that, no matter how it goes, you get to grow and learn and win from, regardless of whatever the numbers look like. It is something that you get to become masterful at in your own unique way. It becomes an art form. And so launching is really such a beautiful thing in business, but it's often looked at, like so many things in business, as such a cold, strict, rigid thing that you have to approach one specific way. And if you don't like approaching it that way, too bad, then you're either not going to be good at it, or you just got to suck it up and deal with it. And I don't subscribe to that at all in business. I have built a business doing things in ways that people told me I could not do or didn't make sense to do at that point in my business. And those things, because they felt right to me and I knew they were aligned with my next level self, those were the things that always took my business to the next level and the next level and the next level. I've built a business that feels good to me. I've built a business that doesn't always make logical sense. And it is such a beautiful, happy, joyful business that gives me life, makes me multiple six figures, and is constantly growing and helping me evolve as a person and serving thousands of people. So if you want to get to whatever that next level is for you and your business, and you want your launches to be joyful and successful, I encourage you today to take 10, 20, 30 minutes, not a ton of time, to just sit and get clear on, what is my next level version of me? What is she like? What is he like? What are they like? How can I connect with that a little bit? And how can I make sure I'm connecting with that every day before I work more on my launch? And then also get in touch with what your inner guidance feels like, what it sounds like, so that you know how to connect with it to make those decisions that you're going to need to make. There's a million decisions we're going to be making along the way as we document my launch. I'm going to be explaining them all to you, and I'm going to be using my intuition and my higher self to do so every step of the way. So that's your homework for today. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this series. Next video will probably go up tomorrow, I'm thinking. I will be diving into talking about the actual offer creation. We're going to start creating the offer that I'm going to launch. I already have an idea of what this is going to be. It's something I've been sitting with for months now that I'm so excited to launch, something truly special. And I'm excited to get to share with you how I go about creating really irresistible offers and then launching and marketing them in a way that sells. You are more than welcome to like this video and comment below and let me know, were there any takeaways you got from this video already? Any aha moments from what we talked about here? If you are launching alongside me or just did today's exercises, let me know a little bit about your next level self. What are they like? What does it feel like to be embodied, to be that next level version of you? And let me know what your inner guidance sounds like, or what you call it. I'd love to connect with you more about this. I cannot wait for what we're going to dive into starting tomorrow.